G'day, and welcome to our first live stream for 2024. Just thought we'd jump on very, very quickly heading into tonight's game. If anyone has any last-minute questions heading into round two, lay them on us. We are here. Feel free. Just opened up YouTube now, so if any comments are coming through, which we have one that's quick-fired come through from Theo Manis, I'll jump into very, very shortly. But of course, if you haven't seen the video update from myself and Liam in terms of our team ins and outs and discussion, feel free to have a quick look at that. But I'll run through my team in a moment, but you would have seen my trades in that video. So first up, Theo, you have asked, let me pull up on the screen here so people can see. My trades, Billings, D'Ambrosio, and Raul in. Should I go Heaney instead for Fisher, Young, and Gipkus? Love the content, lads. Thank you, Theo. Appreciate the kind words. I would go. So in terms of your ins, first and foremost, Billings, I'm all for. He's actually one of my ins this week. Likewise, D'Ambrosio. I think in terms of guys that by and large people haven't got, I think D'Ambrosio is probably one of the best options apart from, say, Marty Hoare that a lot of people don't have. So I think, yes, going early on D'Ambrosio. Normally I wouldn't like going early on a particular player a week early before they're on the bubble, of course. But in this case, I think you can narrow it down to both of those guys. So like D'Ambrosio, and then also Raul. Raul I'm a bit iffy on. Obviously 2-game sample size now. Looks as though he's taken his game to the next level. So potentially he's a good in before he goes up in price. Of course, you can't wait on Raul because he is currently on the bubble, having played those 2 games, as I said. So I don't mind him. But you've also tabled there Heaney instead for Fisher, Young, and Gipkus. So with Young, I would stick fat with him, even though he is named on the half-back line. I do think, considering they've got young Draper making his debut, he will go back and fill a bit of a hole there, allowing Young to go back into the engine room. And from what JL said in his presser, that they actually preferred Young in the engine room, and they kind of threw him back there in-game just to fill a hole, fill a need, because they were just, holes galore in defense. So I think even though Young may play a little bit of time in defense, I don't think he will be down there predominantly 100%. Fisher, I've gotten rid of actually for Billings, so I don't mind that. And Gipkus, I think you have to flip him anyway. So those are good outs. Raul or Heaney, totally up to you. I've started with Heaney, so it's hard for me to really say. But I think, probably comes down to if Raul's going to really disrupt your bye structure next week, considering Gold Coast and the Giants are on the bye. But of course, Heaney does have a bye as well, but not until round 6, I think it is, potentially around 5 or 6. So yeah, it comes down to your team and structure virtually. But all the best, Theo, and thanks for tuning in as always. We also have Brian, who's asked, Dacos the Dead Cert VC flopped, unfortunately, for about 150,000 of us. Now, who to captain? Well, I've gone for Tom Green. I'm fortunate enough that I've got him in my team. I might pull up my team in a moment, actually, so you can see who I've got. Let me just do that right now, and I'll see if it actually works, because through my browser in Firefox, it doesn't work some of the time. So we'll see how it looks. No, it's not going to work. It's going to be an absolute pain in the ass. So I might have to open it up in another browser. Just bear with me, and we'll see how it works. But in terms of your question there, I'd go for Tom Green. If you haven't got Green, I'd go for Bont. They're probably my best 2 options. And then, those are really the only 2. Maxi Gorn, if you really want a flyer, you can do that. Sorry, let me just quickly log in on another browser, and we'll pull up my team so you can see it as I'm having a bit of a yarn. Let's see if this works. Apologies. Share screen. No, it's not going to work. Absolute pain in the ass. Oh, wait, here we go. Is this going to work? I don't know if this is working. Safari. Nope, it's not going to work. Oh, well. Pull your shit together, StreamYard, honestly. Anyway, so those are my options there for you, Brian. Travis, you've asked, my trades are Martin and Fisher for Billings and Gorn allowed me to move Jackson forward. So Martin and Fisher for Billings and Gorn. Okay, yep, gotcha. And it's allowed you to move Jackson forward. Don't mind that. Don't mind it at all. I think Martin, you could probably give an extra week to, which is what I've done, just because I think he provides a bit more upside compared to Fisher. Fisher's role was a bit thereabouts. Martin's role is there. And as I said in the podcast, it's pure. Yeah, it means that he's not playing anywhere else. Whereas I saw Fisher's playing a little bit of a lockdown role at various stages. And I think there's more competition for him anyway, considering he's got McKercher and the Shees Nuts virtually playing the same role as well. And I don't think they can afford to have three attacking defenders, considering that they could be absolutely pummeled on any given week, poor North Melbourne. So he will be asked to play a bit more defensive, I think, at times, and that will see his undoing, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, I like Billings, 100% like Gorn. You've heard enough about how much myself and Liam love Gorn, so 100% get him in if you don't have him. You've also said, Brian, not everyone. Yeah, there was a few people who didn't have the VC on Dacos. I was nearly one of them. But I just had sort of FOMO and I thought I could see Dacos killing it in his 50th game and wasn't to be. But I'm kind of glad because I might have been on the fence if my follow-up VC, which would have been Bont, scored around about 120 odd, because I do think that Green is going to go bananas against the Eagles. Well, fingers crossed anyway. Brian said, yeah, okay, 149.9999. Matty Walker, debating whether to boost or not, either Gipkus and Fisher for Billings and Massimo, or add Martin to Heaney by switching Flanders to mids with a boost. I'm a big advocate of using boosts early on, especially now. In the past, I wasn't. Last year was the first time that I've kind of gone a bit harder. And I think you do need to do that before price rises. I mean, it's a free look the first 2 weeks. If you need to adjust your team, jump on guys that are going to really jump in skyrocket in price. So I am a big supporter of that. So I do think at least the first 2 weeks, if not the first week, the second week, use the boost. But a bit of an insight into what I'm doing. Much like last year, I'm using boosts in the first 2 rounds just to maximize getting on those guys that I've missed. So I do like that, Matty. And you've said Gipkus to Massimo, which is what I've done, and Fisher to Billings, which is also what I've done. And Martin to Heaney is kind of up to you if you want to do that. I do think Martin can turn around, but also Heaney as well. His break even is -12, so he's going to skyrocket in price. So if you want to do that, fair enough. But again, comes down to your buy structures early on as well. If it's not going to put you out too much, keep in mind, of course, it is best 18. But yeah, totally up to you. Travis, agree. McDonald also coming in this week. Who are you referring to there, Travis? Sorry, mate, I've missed that. Matty, VC on Sarong for me. Yeah, I think with the Sarong, I see a lot of people jumping on Sarong, and I can understand why. But if he didn't score as big as he did on the weekend, I can almost guarantee his trade-ins would drop by around about 10%. Again, it speaks to recency bias that we always talk about here. People see the big scores, they get seduced by it, and they think, oh, well, this is going to be the norm. I wouldn't be expecting such a big score like that every single week. And if he does, chances are he's going to actually be tagged by opposition teams. So, again, isn't going to happen from here on out as often as you'd like. But, yeah, if you want to put the VC on him, faces North Melbourne at Marvel, so could come off. But, yeah, VC, probably a good time to take a bit of a risk. Matty, other option is to wait a week on Martin and go Steele next week. Which also I don't mind as well. From what we've seen of Steele so far, it looks like he's the Steele of old, which is absolutely fantastic. So I don't mind that at all either. Brian, going to move hard to get Steele the next week, which is again a bit of a segue here. Next week or two, looks fit again after playing smashed up all last year. Good buy, good value, and genuine keeper. 100% exactly right. He looks like he's back to his form, as I said. Top 8 average scoring midfielder as well. So yeah, do like the look of him. So I think, yeah, we're flush with options now in terms of sideways trades as well. Tookie Miller would have been another one I would have recommended. But of course has the buy next round And if you didn't start with him, kind of hard to justify bringing him in considering that he does have the bye next week. I am conscious of the game starting in, 3 minutes? So if you do need to make any changes, make sure that you do them now, especially if it's related to any Geelong or Adelaide players, obviously. Yes, sorry, Travis. Yes, you were referring to Luke McDonald make his return to North's lineup, hence the Fisher scoring problem, of course. So, yep, does make sense as well there. Mike Crampy style has done in the past that role, Lukey McDonald. So, yes, could present a bit of a clash. Where are we, Travis? Yep, no worries. Let me just have a quick look see if I can put my team up on the screen now. I don't know if this is going to work. Present, share screen. Nope. Oh, come on. Now it's just not showing what the screen is. StreamYard, for something that is widely used, you're a pretty piss poor application. Here he is, Adam. No reception. Had to say hello to the goat, but thank you, Adam. Always a legend, and I'm no way, shape or form a goat, but thank you. Although I do like to have a bit of a penchant for eating some grass, much like the goat himself in Madureira. But yeah, any questions, feel free to flick them through before we sign off. I will, in the meantime, try and get my team up on screen because this is absolutely putrid. The only way I can do it is if I finish this stream and then restart it again through Chrome, which is an absolute pain in the ass, and I don't really want to do. Layouts, nope, it's not working. Settings, nope, that's not it. Present, maybe if I do, nope, it's not working. I have to do the extra camera, nope, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. It's being a pain in the ass. Apologies, peeps. Travis, who am I tipping tonight? I've gone for Geelong, but I think it could go either way, especially considering that it's played at Adelaide Oval. Let me just have a quick look at my team, and I'll let you know the changes that I've done. So for those people that jumped in late, I've gone Gipkus to D'Ambrosio. I've gone Billings in for, who was it? I've switched at least Lazaro to Tom Berry, and then Fisher down to Billings. So I think the Fisher down to Billings move I really like because it gives you around about 140k, which is obviously a fair chunk of coins. So it's virtually like, trading in a cash cow without any, I guess, price movements happening as yet. So that's kind of the way that I'm justifying it in my case. But everyone's different, of course. So yeah. Let us know who you're tipping as well tonight, which the game is kicking off right now at 7:40. So make sure to tune into that. Would you trade Grundy for Heaney? I wouldn't personally, CJ. Grundy I still see as a keeper. And in terms of the price difference, I think there's a fair difference, isn't there? Oh, no, there's not. No, there's only about 1.1k. So, yeah, I guess if you needed to, but in that case, assuming you're having Luke Jackson in your forward line, I would have to flip him into your rucks. And again, even though I've got Luke Jackson, I'm not a massive fan of him longer term. I am anticipating at some stage I'll probably have to flip him once Hodor comes back. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, in that case, I wouldn't be just because I see Grundy as a keeper, or at the very least, hold him until, if you want to flip him on his buy. And it's virtually a Sydney player for a Sydney player, so you're not really avoiding any buys as such with that move. Matty Walker, good luck this weekend. Likewise to you, mate. Going to cheer on Sam Berry. Yeah, he's a bit popular, is Sam Berry. So hopefully you can nab you some points in this case. Have I missed any comments or questions? Let me just flick across. And just going to make sure there aren't any comments and questions that I've missed. Apologies if I have, but of course, keep flicking them through, and we'll stick around for a little bit longer. Might just pop this in Twitter. If there's anyone that's keen as a bean. There we go. Alrighty. But yeah, in terms of longer term, I think I'll just have a quick chat to that. In terms of my team, apologies, I can't get it up on screen, but virtually what I'm anticipating and what I was planning to do originally was have, and I might actually get KO up on my phone as well whilst we're having a bit of a chat, because that's the way around the what do you call it, the copyright infringements. A bit of a secret there. So a little bit of a watch along. But yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry, apologies. What I was thinking of doing longer term was going Heaney, or at least next week, Heaney to Flanders, which means that I would, after next week, when Flanders returns from his bye, which would mean that obviously I'm avoiding Heaney's bye and bringing in Flanders after his bye. So it would afford me virtually another primo. Now I've kind of reconsidered just because Heaney is performing as well as he is. And obviously as well, Luke Jackson, as I spoke of, I am anticipating they'll need to flip him. They don't have an early buy, which is good. I don't know if you can see this. Let me just flick back across to the stream. So yeah, that's virtually the two moves I was going to make. But now I think it's just the eye is on in terms of. So let me just turn the audio down here because we don't need to hear that. And Adelaide have the first goal, it seems. Who kicked that? Was that Berry? Yeah, let me just get up fan footy as well. Actually, I might do that. That'll make sense. If they let us flick across to a share screen. No, it's not going to let us. Gee whiz. StreamYard has absolutely done us for a doozy here. Done us an absolute doozy. Where are we? CJ, sorry, mate. You said put Jackson in my forward line and we'll flick Jackson off when Darcy comes back for English. Yep, I don't mind that, mate. And that's kind of what I was thinking as well with Jackson. Just because, it's so hard to know when Darcy's actually going to come back. So, yeah, that I actually don't mind. Yeah, in your ruck. Yeah, I got you, mate. Gotcha. Yeah, but even if you still had Jackson in your forwards, you can potentially do that as well. Obviously, if you trade a Grundy or someone for a forward, once he's peaked in price, then you can put Jackson into your rucks and flip Jackson for English, just because obviously Jackson's at a higher price point. But yeah. Just a quick update with scores. I can't flip them up on screen. Again, StreamYard has absolutely done us over. Saligo, it was kicked the first goal. He's top scoring on 10, Jordan Dawson on 10, and Laird on 3, Matty Crouch on 3, Samberry yet to touch, he's been on the bench. For the Cats, we have Brian Myers 19, Tom Stewart 12, Jai Clark, he's on 9, so he's almost beaten his full score from last week's game, 13. So he's had a contested possession and a tackle and a handball. Who else is there? Oliver Dempsey on 4, which, is interesting watch on Dempsey as well. The other thing I'm thinking of as well is if Dempsey absolutely kills it. Sorry, Uber notification. I'm just getting some Chinese delivered. If Dempsey actually kills it tonight, what I'm going to be doing is reversing my trade of Berry to Lazaro, and I'll stick with Lazaro this week and then plan to trade Lazaro to Dempsey, just because it's virtually a bit of a tactic because it allows you to have a bit of a second look at Dempsey without having to commit before price changes. So if he goes large, it looks as though his break-even is going to be super, super low. I'll much prefer him scoring-wise anyway over Tom Berry. So that's kind of my in-round move. Max Holmes as well is only on a score of 2 at the moment. But yeah, probably a bit hard to watch that because it is on my side anyway. Looks like it's a bit jittery. So I'll stop doing that. Let me just flip back across. Apologies. Double dummy. Evening, mate. What trades did you end up running with? So ended up going, apologies, I can't pull my team up on screen because StreamYard isn't allowing me to mirror, but virtually went Fisher down to Billings, which afforded me 140 odd K in the bank, which then allowed me to upgrade Gibcus to D'Ambrosio. So it was a bit of a two-pronged trade there, one only being, I guess, unlocked with the other. And then I've brought in, at the moment anyway, Lazaro for Tom Berry. But as I was just saying, if because I am keen on Dempsey, so if Dempsey kills it tonight, I'm going to reverse that trade of Tom Berry back to Lazaro, hold Lazaro this week, and trade him to Dempsey. Just because I'm not too crash hot on Tom Berry's output from week to week. I think there's, he scored well enough to his credit in his first couple of weeks, but with the role that he plays, and he's shown in the past that he can struggle with scoring well enough to be, a decent enough cash cow. And I know that his break even is the second lowest, I think, at the moment, with negative 75, and he's projected to make us nearly just under 100K in his next two games, keeping in mind, of course, that he does have the bye next week. Beyond that, I think there's a chance that he may struggle to push towards the 150K appreciation. So, 100K off a rookie's good, but probably this is the season where you can probably only really need to make 100K off rookies now with the extra 4 trades that we've got. But I'm still aiming to go beyond the 100K cash increase on my rookies before I cash them in. So, yeah, that's kind of my thinking. But yeah, let us know what trades you've made, guys. Keen to hear it. You've also asked, with best 18, what do we reckon a par score might be this week? Hard to say, Matt. Hard to say without seeing. SuperCoach Plus is projecting most people to have around anywhere between 1,600 and 1,700, considering it is best 18. If guys pop off, like the big names that are commonly owned, like Bont, Green, Stewart, and whatnot, I think obviously it raised sort of closer towards the 1,800 and 1,900. But yeah, it's hard to say only after one game. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I think it has lowered, considering Dacos, who is in 70% of teams or thereabouts, or even more. What is he in? Nearly 79% of teams. Jesus. Yeah, there's no surprise that the projection has lowered off the back of that. Craze Fit. Anyone need a link to the game? It's for free. Okay, interesting. But no, I can just pop it up on my phone if you really want to watch it. Double dummy. Interesting. I went Fisher to Berry. I assume that's Tom Berry, and Gibcus to Hall. I'd originally gone English to Gawn for cash, but I saw sense and held him. Yeah, if you started with Tim English, stick with him. Liam's in that same boat as well. He had some spare cash left over when he initially made his team. So yeah, he's sticking with him as well. And Gibcus to Hall was another option that I was thinking of as well. But I think whether or not I go for Hall this week or Massimo D'Ambrosio, it doesn't really matter. I think I'm backing in D'Ambrosio to have a bit of a higher output potentially, hence the reason why I've gone for him early over Hall. But it's much for muchness. As I said, I'm going to end up, in all likelihood, trading in Hall next week for Reed anyway. W said 150K, my usual target, yeah, in terms of price appreciation for rookies. Up the baggers, yes, up the baggers indeed, Craze Fit. You'd be a happy bagger as well, which I am assuming you are one. Made the trip as well to Brisbane for round 0, which wasn't looking good early, but turned it around and ended up having a nice win, one of our better wins that I've seen in recent times as well. So making the trip to Brisbane, obviously a Nuffy am I, along with the wife as well. She's a big bag of Nuffy, and her dad, my father-in-law. So good trip all around, good trip. Double dummy, get a good rookie or 2 popping off will help as well. I'm hoping for 1,900 margin projections, of course, but looking at 1,680 after Nick Dacos. That's a good start as well, dummy. You said you started Massimo. So as a Hawks nut, it's paid off, mate. Do like that. Stanley is hurt. Oh no, that's interesting. That's going to be really interesting as well. Has he been subbed? What happened to him? Went off clutching left leg after. Oh no. Did it look like a knee or something? Because I do have Stanley. Actually, no, I don't. I thought I had him in my draft, but I don't. But it might be a good one to keep an eye on. If he's hurt, it means it paves the way for Conway. So yeah, that's ramifications for the SuperCoach side of things. Craze fit. I'm so lazy. Won't go to a game in Melbourne. Why not, mate? Get to some games. Follow the baggers. We're on the way up, mate. On the way up. Mind you, I'm that much of a nut. Been going to the games when we've been shit across the years. Brendan Bolton, David Teague, even before then, Wayne Britton, back in the 2000s. Seeing it all. So hopefully we see some success, mate, and make it all the more worthwhile. Apologies, I do have allergies, so I'm not trying to extend my nose. Watching Foxtel, but was typing and missed it. Okay, I might have to go back. I might pull it up on KO here as we're already having a bit of a yarn. Just bear with me. If it's just happened a few minutes ago, when did you post that? It's 2 minutes ago. I'll have a quick wind back and see if I can get it up on screen. But feel free, of course, to send through any questions. So who's in the ruck now? Blitzarves, is he? Oh, Blitzarves is in my draft team. So, okay, it looks like he's on the sidelines. Doesn't look to be too serious. He's up and about walking, so they might just be assessing him. I'll just wind back quickly. But if anyone's tuning in, watching it live and saw it happen, let us know. Because it is a bit of a talking point if he's injured. Yeah, hopefully a stinger. Looks like it, mate. Looks like it may have been because he's up and about on both feet, walking. Geez, when did it happen? I can't find it. I'm trying to wind back and find it. He's all good, says CJ. Oh, there you go. He's all good. Very good. Craze fit. I'm in your open league. Best of luck to all. Absolutely. And if anyone here isn't in the open league, I'll post the link up here in the chat so you can jump on in. Just give me a tick and I'll copy and paste it because it's free, of course. And for the person that is the highest ranking at the end of the season, we will send out to you a SuperCoach Edge championship ring. So that is the prize that is at stake. And we have at the moment 731 people in the open league. So make sure you join. Actually, what I will do is I'll just see if the URL works. If I put it straight in the chat here. Give that a whirl. See if that works. I don't know if it will. I think it will actually, because it has extended the URL to include the code, which is 123391 anyway. That's the join code, but free to join. It is our open league. As I said, 731 people in there. And the guy that's leading it overall is Fritch Kicks 6, who's currently ranked 270th overall. So if you're ranked above him, make sure you jump in because it gives you a bit of a head start. Outside of that, bit of a promoing side of things here. But if you haven't joined our Discord, feel free to jump in because there is a little bit going on here. Free to join also, of course. It's virtually like Twitter /Big Footy for those people that are on Big Footy, like a forum virtually. And what I will do is just generate a new invite link and I'll whack it again in the chat here. Let me see if this works. Okay, so that should work. Let us know if it doesn't. And yeah, it's virtually a community through Discord that we're growing. And yeah, it's a bit more active this year since we promoted it a little bit earlier before the start of the season. You can chat with other people, other SuperCoach nuts, chat about trades, captaincy, VC options, injuries, strategies, team talks, all that sort of stuff. So make sure you jump on in. Double dummy, you have said 206th in your league after round one. I think you're near me actually, because I'm ranked 211th. Traditionally, I start badly and work my way up, and then lose ranks due to over trading. Yeah, it's a bit of a different year this year, because obviously with the extra 4 trades that we get extended out to 440 overall, I do think whilst you can go a little bit harder earlier on, I do think people need to keep in mind as well that I ran out of trades in round 20, I think it was. Round 21, and I had injuries galore in the back end. I had Walsh out for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then I had Doherty out heading into round 24. So I had to play rookies. Luckily enough, I had like enough depth on the bench, but it meant I had to play rookies virtually in the final 5 weeks, because I didn't have any trades to help me out. So keep that in mind as well. Whilst you should go hard early, I think, try and be conservative after that. Because you don't want to find yourself in the same sort of situation at the back end of this year. The final round or 2. Exactly right. Yeah, that's the same issue that I ran into. So we don't want that. Just having a bit of a score update for Fan Footy. So Blitzarves is up, which he's in my draft team. So he's going to be benefiting a little bit as well, chopping out more on the ruck. Stanley's back on, though, for whoever had him in their draft team. So Blitzarves, top scorer, 36. Sean Manor is on 24. He's another one to keep in mind as well. We didn't discuss him on our round 1 weekly podcast, but if he goes large again, which he has kicked a goal, or at least scores well enough because he was the sub in the first round, he could be one to bring in. Oliver Dempsey's only on 11 at the moment. Actually, he's gone down to 8. 0% disposal efficiency from 1 disposal. That's interesting. Okay. Jai Clark's on 15. Yep, as you've said, double dummy. He's getting up there. Sam Berry's on 10 with 0% disposal efficiency. In fact, he hasn't had disposal at all, so he's only had a couple of tackles. Who else is there? Mitch Hinge, he's on my draft team, 23. Jordan Dawson's on 18. Rory Laird on 17. And Matt Crouch on 16. And that's about it. Oh, sorry, Tom Stewart's on 30 as well. So good to see that. Clark to 15, woohoo. Might end up needing to keep him after all. Yeah, I think he will come good. When he gets a bit more of a go, I think he wasn't really afforded much game time last week, so that kind of worked against him, and had poor disposal efficiency as well, which saw him only score the 13. Craze fit up the manor. I almost traded him out. I think Manor's going to provide or prove to be a bit of a nice cash cow anyway. It's always hard when players start as a sub, as we saw with Billings. He gets a full game and can really show what he can produce. So will come good. Where are we? Alrighty. So, ladies and gents, might wrap this one up, I reckon, just because the game is underway. Actually, how long we got to go till quarter time? And we might put another post out. 8 minutes. So people are watching the game, no doubt, and I might be keen to tune in as well properly, because I've got it on the my phone here, but hard to watch on the small screen. And I don't want to be rude watching the game, and you're just sitting there watching me watch the game like Gogglebox. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to flick them through in the comment section below. We'll try as well. We tried to do a bit of a live stream yesterday on Thursday for team sheet announcements, which we will try and make commonplace from here on out. Just yesterday, yesterday didn't work, unfortunately. Hence the reason why we're doing it tonight. So yeah, we'll try and do that. But of course, as we always say, if you haven't tuned into our content, feel free to do so. In terms of Liam's doing his team talk as well this season, so double the team talks. It really gives you an insight into it, both of our strategies, the trades that we're making, and whatnot. Just because we want to sort of not clog up our usual week-to-week episodes. So yeah, sort of streamlining it a bit more so we can go into depth of. So I'm just looking at the replay here. Oh, they're just trying to decide if a ball came off someone's boot. Yeah. Outside of that, sorry, that was my phone buzzing just there because it was some Uber. So food has arrived. But yes, outside of that, yeah, we have appreciated your support as well, I must say. I've said it a few times here, but everyone has jumped behind us and really do appreciate it, and it hasn't gone unnoticed as well. So at the moment, I think we're at 1507 subscribers. So we've ticked over the 1500 mark. So I really do appreciate that. And yeah, if you're subscribing for the first time as well, check out our content and consider subscribing, and we'd absolutely love that as well. Always good fun connecting with the community. And if you haven't, bit of a segue, post in the chat if you are joining us late, a link to our Discord, which is our SuperCoach Edge community Discord, where it's a forum. Jump on there, have a chat. You can pick the brains of Liam and myself. You can slide into our DMs as well, and yeah, pick our brains about your own teams if you need a bit of a hand. And likewise, just up in the live chat log, you can see a link to our live league, open league, which the code is 123391. Make sure you jump into that. Free to do so. There's 731 people that have jumped in thus far. Let's see if that's gone up. Nope, no one's gone up. So I assume everyone tuning in has joined the SuperCoach Edge Legends Cup Open League. I'll pop it in the chat one more time for those people that may have missed it. There it is there. So make sure you join. It is in the live chat log. So just scroll to that, click on the link via YouTube, and that'll take you. It's just an instant link, so it'll just prompt you straight away to join. Saves you having to find the league code, punch in the league code, all that sort of stuff. And likewise as well for our Discord link. So make sure you join our Discord. Double dummy, just before we sign off, tell Stuart to stop it. I need a few more weeks of average scores from him. Geez, you faded him. That's a ballsy move. Ballsy move. After Liam and I said he's a keeper. He's rusted on, but that's all good. Everyone's got their own strategies. You can't start with them all. So makes sense. Anyway, ladies and gents, we're going to end it here. Thanks again for tuning in. And again, hit us up across our socials. Twitter is where we're most active. So hit us up via Twitter, X, least so on Facebook, and least so, even more so, on Instagram, because people have slid into our DMs and we've seen like a week or two later that people have hit us up with questions, and apologies, but we aren't as active on Instagram, and a little bit more so on Facebook, but Twitter is where it's at. So feel free to hit us up via there. But until next time, ladies and gents, we'll catch you in the next one, and all the best for the rest of the round. And round us out, double dummy, faded, but already regretting it. You'll just have to bide your time, double, and jump on Stuart because he will drop at some point, I'm sure, maybe. But anyway, that's it for us, ladies and gents. All the best for the remainder of the round, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.